Yujiro Hanma is a primary antagonist of the Baki franchise and also the strongest character in the series. He lives only to fight and cause destruction to everyone and anything he can. Baki anime has a lot of moments where Yujiro shows his unbelievable strength and savagery, and in this video let's look at the greatest moments of Yujiro's dominance. Best of Yujiro Hanma. The best way to prove yourself is the way you introduce yourself, and Yujiro did it with style. He arrives at the battle between his son Baki and Hanayama Kaoru, jumping from a flying helicopter in a Spider-Man manner, surprising everyone. Talking about stupid things, in his fight against Baki, Yujiro made an insanely cool but suicidal move. He jumped from the window of a freaking skyscraper. Hands down, he is a hella badass dude.
Baki, prepare for landing. Landing? What does he mean landing?
Once, to the delight of the fans, Yujiro finally faced Oliva in some sort of fight, if this could be called so. For the safety of his old friend, he even put on boxing gloves. But things went too fast, and Oliva flew across his huge library.
How incredibly muddled. How incredibly frivolous. Emotion.
But one punch to the face is not enough for a bulldozer like Oliva, and recognizing that he has a disadvantage in a fist fight, he decides to try his luck in a battle of strength, in which he was also destroyed.
Whose head position is highest? And that person will be the victor.
Bad. I had a feeling things would end this way.
The story of Muhammad Alai is starting like a horror movie. He and his friends were running at night, and then every 5 minutes each of his fellas disappeared until he was one left. Then young beast Yujiro showed himself. He was the one who was responsible for the boxers disappearing. They talk a bit, but what is more interesting, it's Alai's attempt to punch Yujiro.
Boxing とは明らかに体系の異なるパフォーマンス。想像できるだろうか。私が生涯をかけた技術が触れもしない。
Casual Yujiro comes out of nowhere when two guys are fighting and begins to do his ogre stuff. First of all, he breaks the throat of one guy using only one finger, and then after a small talk, I really can't understand what the hell he wanted from these two guys. Yujiro punched already defeated Yanagi in the face so hard that his jaw ceased to exist and was never found again. This time Yujiro shows that he can do anything he has in mind. He breaks into the Prime Minister's office, but before that the ogre calls him and states that he will come and kill him. So when Yujiro came, it was around 100 police force guarding the minister's facility, as well as tens of bodyguards inside the building. Yujiro could try to sneak around easily, but the easy way is not for such a testosterone bag. Hanma just went through them all at once. But he did not kill the Prime Minister after all. All that he wanted was to assert himself, and he succeeded. Imagine you're a 5-time Muay Thai champion walking down the street of Tokyo, minding your own business. But out of nowhere a red-haired dude calls you to a fight and knocks you out with his fingers. I would rethink my life and never practice Muay Thai again. Even the head of the temple in Heilongjiang in China, 100 years old master Ryukayo, with all of his 4000 years of martial arts knowledge, has no chance against such a beast like Yujiro, one of the most gruesome and epic Yujiro's moments ever.
Here we go. You used him for 100 years. Time to switch him out.
At the times of the Maximum tournament, Yujiro came there wanting to offer Tokugawa his protege to be one of the participants. But unluckily, there was no space for him. Luckily, Yujiro knows how to solve such a problem with ease. Luckily for Yujiro, not for a poor guy whom Ogre literally broke in half. Also, a great moment of Yujiro's dominance was once again during the Maximum tournament. Everyone was tired of him, and 10 fighters who were introduced before the tournament as one of the strongest all around the world came to give him a lesson. But they never were mistaken that much. There are never enough people to take down Yujiro Hanma. By the way, he defeated everyone using exact same combat style they were pro at. When Yujiro is making fun of you, just let it go. Don't try to argue with him, or what's even worse, don't try to approach him in any manner, or you will be punished in a hard way. One more time when Yujiro was a beast is when Bosch brings him to test his bodyguard who was trained by Jungewaru. Of course, the fact that someone tried to use him angered Yujiro. A response from the bodyguard was hilarious.
Mr. Bush, your bringing him here is essentially suicide. I said that I'd keep you safe, but protecting someone whose intent is to commit suicide is outside the scope of my duties. It's impossible for me to protect you if he decides to attack.
Also, he thinks that the only way to save the president is to throw him from the window, but with a blink of an eye, Yujiro appeared in front of the house and caught Bosch. Even Yujiro's commendable speech to the bodyguard was as savage as Yujiro himself. He just talking and poking in the ear of the US president in front of his guards who are powerless in front of the strongest creature alive.
Nicely done, kid. But still, don't know what you expected. There's nothing you can do to protect Bush from me. But you made the right call.
Yujiro appeared at the guarded military facility, and at the time when Retsu and others were sneaking their way through the guardians hiding in the shadows, Ultra Male came to the front gate. After being stopped by the guards, Yujiro activates his frightening aura, making 3 armed big dudes fight each other. As Yujiro said after stopping them, there was only one way for them to survive. If they try to attack him, they'd all be dead. Even if one of them does not fight against each other, they'll also all be dead in an instant. So they make only one right decision: to beat each other badly and get his approval. And after all, they get it. Yujiro forgive them. It's funny that there were 3 of them and one dude had no one to fight against, so he goes full narrator mode from the Fight Club and beat his own ass up. Truly an epic moment that shows how dominant Yujiro is in front of casual people, even though they were trained and armed guards. How is such a human like Yujiro having fun? A man like Yujiro comes to a gym where a bunch of boxers along with the middleweight champion are training, locks them and himself there and does stuff.
1 minute later.
Funny, but at the same time insanely cool moment happened when Baki decides to play rock paper scissors with Yujiro. The loser will wash the dishes. But the ogre won't be the ogre if he does not do something power based, even in a petty dispute with his own son.
See? What was that all about? Just a reminder. There are scissors in this world that are capable of cutting through rock.
Yujiro gets to Pickle's apartment, which is simply a big square of bulletproof glass. This bulldozer squeezed his face and after his body through the bulletproof glass, like it was some sort of a packing tape in front of him, not a wall that even bullets can't penetrate. Also, a sharp broken glass left no damage on his titanium body, only ripping his shirt off. Even his pants were left entirely unscathed. Of course, those are the ogre pants. Then he decided to test Pickle's strength by holding out a fist to him, but Pickle is not a joke and he withstood Yujiro's push, making the ogre use Aiki against the caveman. But again, even though things went not as Yujiro planned, he was the first one to throw Pickle to the ground, and this is insane.
Look at that. The son of a bitch made me pull a move on him.
One of the coolest moments for me, Yujiro with his demon back activated just ate all Kaku's punches without significant damage and then finished the fight in his beast manner, nearly killing Old Potato. Even natural disasters are not a problem for this human being. Before Yujiro's first battle against Baki, an earthquake started, but the strongest creature on Earth solved that problem in his own style, with brute force. Yujiro punched that Earth's ass so hard that it stopped shaking its sweet cheeks, and this situation did not interfere him to pound his son's head into the ground sometime later. Even when Yujiro is just mentioned, he already looks, sounds and feels cool and strong guy. And from this mentioning we find out that Yujiro, Oliva and Jungiwaru is three guys on Earth who were considered as a human stronger than the machine gun and even than an army. So the USA made 3 satellites which are watching the movements of just 3 men. These satellites are watching these 3 and give a detailed image of them only a few meters off the ground, continually capturing their targets. But if one of them starts to move faster than just walking, over half of all satellites will be redirected to follow the target's movements. Isn't that crazy that the entire country should use half of its satellites to find one person? Even one of the strongest countries in the world is feared of Yujiro to disappear. Everyone in the world who knows who Ogre really is feared of Yujiro Hanma. Alright, this video is already too damn long, I think we'll end here. If this video was interesting to you and you want to see part 2, leave a like and comment down below. Yujiro still has a lot of great moments. When this video hits 1k likes, I'll immediately make a part 2. But for now, thank you all for watching, I'm out. Bye!
Me and none of them not travel by any trip. In the seat of corruption.